We have now interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you.
All right, welcome back to another installment of the Warheads. I'm Apocalypto Joe, and we have a full house tonight. We have Mr. E. Peoples. We have a returning guest, OG Zoe, Kana, along with Aisha, Silk Threads, and of course my partner, Roscoe Brown. And before we get started, we always want to remind you to please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, help support the channel. But today, as you can see behind me,
all right, then.
We have
That's a full house.
The queen. Yeah, that is a full house. You know, if we were playing poker, I'd win.
You sure would, because I don't know how to play anyway.
Too funny. But as you can see behind me, we have Kim Kardashian and Ray J. As we know, Kim Kardashian, she shot to fame by doing a sex tape with Brandy's little brother. But I bring all this up because just last week, OnlyFans made an announcement that they're going to cut back on all the adult content on their page. And as we know, a lot of women, and we did a show about this, a little short skit, about people becoming millionaires because of OnlyFans. But I think OnlyFans is just a drop in the bucket of what's been going on with this battle of the sexes. You know, women have been gaining their independence financially as well as socially. The right to vote, fourth wave of feminism has put women over the top to the point where in a lot of instances they're making more money than men. However, with OnlyFans going away, I wanted to have a discussion with you all. What's the future, the expectation of a lot of the women, especially seeing that we're in a calcifying economy? Jobs are disappearing. Places that people could work once upon a time and make a living wage, you can't do that anymore. We live in a gig economy. You gotta work a full-time job and do Uber or Lyft or something else after work. So now that OnlyFans is cutting off a very lucrative channel, what do you guys see in the future for the sisters? Or the women, period? Go in, Warheads.
Well, all I gotta say is, man, put them back in the kitchen barefoot, man. Let's do it. Let's go.
That's where we going.
No, let me stop, man. No, I'm just messing around. But seriously, yeah. I just think that I think it's a good thing that this whole OnlyFans thing is being taken off the plate. I think it's a good thing, and not to knock nobody's hustle. I don't want to seem like I'm hating. I'm knocking somebody's hustle. You know, for anybody who wants to, as Aisha said earlier, you know, be able to show a pinky toe and be able to make your money. You know, I don't want to stop that hustle, but I just think that with some things you could get too ridiculous, go too far, go toe the line too much. And I just think that some of these things, some of these options that have been given in order for people to prostitute themselves, as that's kind of the way that I look at this thing. But yeah, I don't want more options for my daughter to have to be able to put herself out on display like this, you know. So the less options, the better for me as a dad, I suppose. But I don't want to continue because we got a full house. So Silk, you could just go ahead and go in and have
What is the Simps gonna do now?
Yeah.
What are the men that sit at home on their computer and on their phone and lust over these women and pay them like bona fide tricks gonna do with that built up sexual frustration? And what are the women going to do when they're so spoiled to the fact of the income coming in and it stops? Will that start any depression? We just had mental health last month, right? So if what you are, we already know what happens with entitled kids, spoiled kids, when you tell them no and what they can't have or take away the livelihood that they're used to. These women have been making hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars in months, and they've been spending like they make that it'll never run out. They thought that this sex industry was the creme de la creme and will never run out. They wasn't saving. A lot of them aren't saving money. A lot of them aren't reinvesting that money in another way. They're putting it in them bodies. They getting the breast bigger, the waist smaller, and their butt bigger. You know what I'm saying? And when they can't use all that, that's a lot to go to waste at home. So I don't know really what to say to them. Hope you had fun.
E Peoples, since you're new with us today, give us your take on what you think is the fate of the.
Personally, man, I think that Pandora's box has already been opened and there's no going back now. We understand now that this is a lucrative business and virtual pimping is in. You know what I'm saying? Virtual pimping is in. So, who's to say that someone else doesn't start their site and they get their cut and the simps are gonna come. You know that they out there and they got the money
They
and they gonna spend it. So I think Pandora's box is open. I think that there'll be another outlet for it. You got ladies out there like Hurricane Fury, who is a solo artist. She's been doing it for 15, 20 years. And, hey, she's figured out a way how to do it. And, you know, anything is possible. And she's a prime example of that. And OnlyFans is a prime example of that. So I think it ain't going nowhere. It's just about to evolve.
So,
I think it's a problem just because, I mean, it was only about, it was eventually always for now. And where there's a will, there's a way. The ships are always going to find a way. But I don't know. It's, yeah, like you said, Pandora's box has been opened. They're going to find a way. I think it's going to separate a lot of the true business people that had the real shit behind it. And it's going to separate the children. It's pretty much what it's going to be.
okay.
I don't think it's a good thing because, I mean, it's just another way to sell ass for cash. But
All right.
the world is what the world is.
So all the fellas have chimed in. Ladies, go in.
Yeah, lady supposed to be first, but we ain't gonna go there.
My girl get y'all every time.
Not all the time.
So I'll go ahead. Y'all know I don't know too much about nothing because I just don't be inclined with anything. So everything that I know about, I hear from y'all. So now I have heard about OnlyFans, and just doing a quick Google research, I got a couple of myths that came up. So fantasy came up, empowering, high class escorts, sexual, quick cash. So my question is OnlyFans just a sexual site? Is it, or that's just the bulk of it? So the bulk of it is sexual. But then I guess my next question would be, what would be any different from any other services that's been out for years? When things evolve, you go to new heights. Now I'm not condoning it or I'm not against it because I don't know nothing about it. But I'm just saying when you go into the times, if this is what they're doing in 2021, and they used to have the escort service where you go and look into the papers and you pick number 235 or whatever, what's the difference? Is it just because it's so popular that it's a issue? I mean,
I think what it is more than anything is we live like in a time where you have Cash App, you have all these different applications where you can just receive oodles and oodles of money, Patreon, you name it. And so women are making money in a more rapid manner. not that I'm against somebody getting their hustle on, and
Mhm.
this is how I look at it. There's been a lot of families, households breaking up because, like I said in the beginning, we live in a gig economy. And a lot of women are like, hey, if I put my goodies on the internet, we can bring in money. Well, she's with a man. This man don't necessarily like her showing her goodies on OnlyFans. And so it's creating a rift for families. Like children are hearing these arguments, domestic violence is going up. I don't want you with your goodies on OnlyFans. And so
But all these things existed before OnlyFans. Again, I'm not pro it.
Not the temptation.
I'm just trying to find out though. So, but I mean, all these things existed before OnlyFans.
well, you just made mention of like articles and papers and things of that nature. They were a little bit more fringe. I think what OnlyFans did is popularized it to
Okay.
the point where it was acceptable. Because I don't think they started off that way. I think they kind of matriculated over to the adult side, and then that's
No,
what
it got popular. It got popular off the adult side. Then
that's
nobody know what an OnlyFans was for until all the females started shaking it on OnlyFans. Then
So
everybody like,
it ain't no dudes shaking it on OnlyFans. I'm just curious.
you know what? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I'm not a subscriber to OnlyFans. I don't
No?
trick my money like that.
Okay.
yeah.
I mean,
OnlyFans for tricks.
I trick my money off on my wife if I had one.
If you
But
had
I got one.
I
yeah.
think another thing we have to look at is the advancement of media itself. You guys had said about the newspapers. Me growing up as a kid, I remember the 9-600 numbers and things of that nature. But when you have media that, like we talked about earlier, that you can find anything through our phones, and it's constantly put in our faces. You can go on Facebook or you can go on Instagram, and that's just naming a couple of those outlets. So with you got to look at it like that too. Everything is amplified times 20 now when it comes to that.
Right.
To
Well, if y'all
the
don't let Kanai talk, boy.
I need you to chime in,
Well, if
sis.
y'all don't let Kanai talk, boy, she done pulled
Yes,
over.
Lord. I'm ready.
She pulled
I'm
over.
ready for my sister. Go ahead, Kadai,
So,
baby.
hey, my wife said, hey,
Kadai better take off her gloves.
No, I actually am at home. But I hear a few things, and I'm just gonna kind of piggyback off of what Aisha said, meaning that it's been around anyway. Um, this is actually not new. I think what happens is they just find another way to start it or rebrand it or whatnot. But this actually happened back in 2014, 2015 online through the pimps. The pimps had their hoes out there doing this. It was an online service, and
back
they
page,
what's it called?
back page,
Back
Black
who?
back page.
Okay. Well, this already happened. I think what happened was they got cracked. They were cracked down upon. So I don't know what's going on with the OnlyFans, but this is the reason why what I see is this. It's short lived. It's not something that is gonna be like for a long time. Because as you can see, they're already talking about shutting it down, and that's the same thing that happened to that page that you were just Stephen, what you just said. So I think they just try to find a way to reinvent the wheel, because I believe what happens is, the government, they looking at, you ain't paying no taxes on this money. Eventually you're gonna get cracked down on. They're not gonna allow this. But they are trying to, in some states, California being one, I believe also Las Vegas, to make this prostitution or this kind of activity okay. Because porn, they don't say nothing about porn. You know what I'm saying? They don't even take taxes off porn, which I understand what that is. That's just the government too. And they getting paid on the back end, I believe, because they won't touch porn. Porn is $1 billion industry and growing. Also, what I see is it's gonna get dangerous. There's a lady out there right now. Her name is Jasmine. She was actually on Kevin Samuel's show yesterday, but I saw her on Instagram, and this woman seems to think that her having a client or her having this friend has to she was his client or whatever it was. I guess they became friends, but he put her up in a house or apartment or condo, and also bought her a Benz, and monthly he's paying out of his pocket about $5,500. That's $5,500 a month. So what she is saying is, you put me in this lifestyle, you put me in this car, you put me in this house. You can't take it away from me. You can't downsize or take away my lifestyle. You have to keep paying for me. Now, when she was screwing with him, that's all good. But she's like, no, even if you're not with me anymore, you're going to maintain my lifestyle. Now, she's 28 years old, and she has a son, a grown son, which she wouldn't give his age. So I'm thinking he's probably old enough to be like, dang, I mean, what kind of mother are you? But it's going to get to the point where it's going to be, because this woman was saying, like, she was so ungrateful for what she was getting, but at the same time, she's in the mindset of, I'm a wife, but I'm not a wife, but I want the benefits of getting a wife. And Kevin was like, why don't you just marry the man? Why don't you just? So I think this is going to become a problem, because some of these women that's coming up, these young-minded women that's coming up that don't have no morals, don't have no God, don't have nothing. I mean, just the bottom is broke out. These women are going to become a problem for these men with money, and somebody going to get hurt. So because of that, I don't really see it going that long, because it's going to be somebody going to catch a case. Because that broad, if you go back and listen to Kevin Samuel's show last night, that broad, her mentality was, you know what? I got my people. If you don't keep this up, I got my people. And Kevin's like, I got my people. I would have my people. So, but he was like, but this ain't even gotta be like this. So it's been around for years, but the way it is now, these women are dependent on you men that got this money to upkeep a lifestyle for a hoe. And that's what they are. Straight up hoes.
Prostitution is a institution that'll never need restitution.
Yeah, you're a prostitute, you're a hoe. My father never encouraged me. And my auntie used to be like, well, Eddie, they need to get money. My dad's like, don't teach my daughter that. Because like Chris Rock said, if your daughter end up on the pole, you failed as a father.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you said that, Kana, because I wanted to pose a question to you all. Because I look around, like, nobody in here is blind. We're looking at the condition of the world. We're basically circling the toilet bowl right now. And what it reminds me of is reading different parts of history is the last days of Rome under Roman Emperor Caligula. We know that Rome was inundated with pleasure and decadence and all this other stuff. And that's all we see. Kanab made a point to say that we're surrounded by hoes. Like, we do live in a thought culture. People try to sit up here and sweep it under the rug like it's women's sexual freedom. But whenever you have a society like ours, it's on the decline. I wanted to ask the question, why is it that every time society is in a decline, that the women, no matter the nationality, ethnicity, always default to sex to put food on the table and a roof over their head? Roscoe, go, bro.
Well, they default to sex because it's easy. It's the easiest thing to go to.
Why not a trade? Why not a trade?
Well, I mean,
they are trade.
Yeah, it is a trade.
Them babies hungry now.
Yeah, exactly.
It should be finished in 5 minutes.
So what about forethought? I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
No, I mean, if we're just talking about the basic person, your average person, and you think about the aspect of, or the prospect of, of going out and spending hours at doing an actual job or taking up a trade when you can spend 1 hour, you know what I mean, and make probably the same amount, if not more, in that time span, you know what I mean? So if you add it up to your average person who's probably not got the greatest moral standing or whatever it is, then yeah, they're gonna easily go to what's the fastest way, and the fastest way for a lot of ladies is to, hey, let's just open up my legs, and see what happens. So, um, yeah, no, it's a thing that's been around forever because it's the easiest thing. It just makes sense. Um, if I was a woman of not the highest moral standing, it's probably something I would go to. It's easy, So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. It's just one of those things. It's just right there. Um, Women are, and because of the thirst of man. You know what I mean? When it's all said and done, because it's not just the fact of women wanting to put themselves out there like this. They know that they can take advantage of men's thirst. So that's all it is.
Sexual thirst.
Hey man, if it wasn't for
And
a
a lot of
man,
these men, go ahead, man. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
If it
No,
wasn't
you good.
piling it, if it wasn't for the man that'd pay for it, it wouldn't be a woman that'd be able to sell it.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
the
sir.
point. Prostitution is the institution that'll never need restitution. It's gonna always thrive, even if society break down now, women can still sell that thing between their legs. If
Mm.
nothing else grow on the ground, believe me,
Yeah.
you can still buy that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying?
you know what would happen?
If
You could
water
take
was the
you could
commodity.
take away our current currency,
Absolutely.
and a new currency will be created just just to
Like
sell
Mad
ass.
Max, nigga, water.
Just to sell ass.
One
We'll turn rocks into the new currency.
I got a lot of rocks in my front yard.
now you won't have it when niggas need it. It's gonna be bare ground out there.
I got a lot of bullets in my bedroom.
Yeah, see,
Can I say something?
all the time.
Yes.
So I do want to take it back to the comment I made about how my aunt used to say this. Okay, she was born in the 40s. Okay, her belief. This is real talk, and this is what y'all don't know. But you got your aunties and big mamas. Some of them was sitting down at the table with the girls, telling them, and white women too. They ain't just black women, but see, white women are taught to get a man with money. Period. Black women ain't taught to really do that. We taught to struggle with a man and all that. I'm gonna go somewhere with this, okay? But then you got those women in our family, in our community that were taught, and this is why the attitudes are the way it is when you see this happening and coming up, as far as if I have a body, beautiful, if I have a JJ, okay? Because I hear men even say this, and I've heard some professional men say this comment: if you a woman and you broke, something wrong with you, because you got a PUSSY and you shouldn't be broke. Okay, and see, that's challenging for somebody like me who don't believe in giving myself up for no money. Okay, I do what I like, what I who I like to do it with, because that's my choice. But it shouldn't have a. I don't feel like it should have a price tag on it. But if you a man, of course you're gonna treat me and show chivalry and show me a nice time, and you might choose to buy me something. But the mentality that my auntie had was this: if a man is gonna be with you or want time with you, he ain't supposed to come to your house empty-handed.
Is
Now,
that
I
grooming?
agree. I agree with that to a certain extent, because I do believe that if a man is gonna be with a woman, he should treat her. I believe that. But now on this, give me $500, give me $1,000 for my time, give me this, give me that, give me a bag, give me this. I had a friend that spent one night with a man for $1,500. Just didn't even do nothing with him. Just went out. Girl, he gave 15 months. I have was in his Aston Martin, all that. So but you like what you
She
said, and we
lied to
talked
you.
about. No, she didn't.
Oh, she
No, she
lied to
brought
you.
that. No, she
No,
brought
Oh,
that
she
money.
lied to you.
No,
it can happen.
no,
Oh, she
she
lied to you.
didn't. No,
It
no,
can
I'm gonna tell you
happen.
why. No, I'm gonna tell you why she didn't lie, brother. Let me pump your brakes for a minute, because I know this
We
person personally. She brought the money back with her. She
no, I
had it
ain't say,
in her
no. She
purse.
got that
No,
money,
she didn't
but she
lie.
she had a, she had a couple throat
She didn't screw
lozenges
him.
or something.
He was an older man, and all he wanted was her company. There are older white men, I'm sorry, that just want your time. This woman had men. that just wanted her to go to lunch with them. Okay. Just like y'all just said, if the men ain't paying, this wouldn't happen. You got some men that are
And it only matters if they bring
retired, got
something
hundreds,
to
don't even
the
care.
table.
Hey,
Yeah,
the
they don't
first, the
matter. They
first
just
two
want
times,
they just want
first two,
company.
three times gonna
So
be
this
free,
ain't
but she's gonna pay. She's paid for it. Believe me.
Wait,
And
what?
I
What
I
the?
some
I,
type of
I don't I
she's fulfilling
all I
some type
know
of
that
fetish
night
for that man. That's why he paying her for it. Because he can just get anybody on the street to
she
go eat. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
She's
telling
fulfilling
you,
the fetish.
every case
Believe
does
me.
not involve sex. Every
I ain't
case
say
does not
sex. I
involve
said
sex.
she's fulfilling
I'm
a fetish.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
she's a fetish sex worker.
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
this. Let's
No,
do
she's
this.
not a sex worker. She just
If
doing her
if you're
thing.
fulfilling
I'll say
fetishes are
this.
sexual, and if you're fulfilling sexual fetishes, you're a sexual fetish. If you're getting paid for your services, you're working. You're fulfilling sexual fetishes. That's what you are. Don't get mad at the label.
Oh, I ain't mad at all. I don't care. It don't apply to me.
You know what's
Okay.
so
You
funny?
call it what you call it what you want. I was just telling you that I know the girl and she ain't lying. That's all
What's
I
I
so
don't
was
know.
saying.
She got that,
interesting?
I
What's
believe
so
her.
interesting about what you said, Kana? We actually did a show last month called "A Horrible Mother's Advice." Ties into this very subject matter. However, as it always is, this is always up for discussion when it comes to you, the viewers. We just put the information out there. You draw your own conclusion. We're not trying to shape anybody's reality or make you adapt to our opinion. As you can see, we're very varied in our opinions. That being said, this is another episode of the Warheads. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification.
It's something sexual. It
What you
has to
say, so?
be.
Warheads out.
Warheads.
Don't put no W's on my fingers.
I will do it.
I swear to God, I'm gonna make you an animated W for real.